Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam. Today I'm going to give away some free plants. Again, I did this a couple days ago. It worked out great. Homeowner was I really enjoyed that encounter with a new friend in the neighborhood, and there's a house a couple doors away from that one that has a similar. They have open spaces in their beds, so it's already mulched area, and I don't have to pull out the grass in order to plant something over there. I've got an idea to plant 3 of these jewel box Distilleum, which are right here. This was a new introduction this past year. This is one of Buddy Lee's introductions that did Encore Azaleas. Great little super compact Distilleum, evergreen. We'll talk more about it when we get it over there. I had these sitting on on the mulch in the backyard before I moved them out here to the driveway. So they got roots coming out of the bottom of them. This is normal if you sit something in a container on mulch like that. I'm gonna have to cut this off. By doing that little bit of root damage I'm doing, I'm gonna have to reduce the tops on these just a little bit after I plant them. So you'll see when I do that, but I'm gonna take, this is pretty straightforward. You can just take a saw like this and just take it off. Nothing else we can do. Couldn't even get it out of the pot if I didn't do this. So there you go. I've got 3 of these. There's one more with the roots, same thing. This folding saw is such a great tool for so many things, but including putting roots off the bottom of pots. The next thing up is this Roman candle podocarpus. I happen to have 2 of these right now, and so I figure this is going to be a good combo to put this podocarpus behind these 3 Distilleum. So I've got my head shears so I can do some pruning on these after they go in the ground, because I know, like I said, I'm doing some root damage on them. I've got my trusty trenching shovel. It works great in this clay soil we have in this neighborhood. Got my 4 plants, and off to find a new victim for free plants. Here's the next one. I'm hoping hoping they answer the door, hoping they accept my offer of free plants and it not be too weird. But they have a perfect spot, again, just like the other one in the first video. They've got bed spaces already, and there's some gaps in those spaces. So I think I can find some places to put the podocarpus and the Distilleum. Let's walk up to the front door and find out if they're home. Hey, how's it going? Good morning. It's crazy. I have a crazy question for you. My name is Jim Putnam, and I have a YouTube gardening channel. And for your neighbor a couple doors up, I planted some free plants for her the other day, and I wondered if you were interested in potentially finding a spot for some extra plants that I have.
Absolutely.
After walking around, I think I found a good spot in the back garden space, but I thought I'd show you a few things in the front garden space that are kind of interesting. There's some baptisia out here that had bloomed much earlier in the spring, but the foliage continues to look nice on these with that blue-green hue. Seed pods have formed on top of them. There's a butterfly weed next to it, and the seed pods have opened on them, and it has this cottony kind of a look. This is the host plant for the monarch butterfly, but this thing does all kinds of things all season long. It's got the it's got nice foliage, it's got nice flowers. Just a plant, Asclepias or something you should add to your garden, if nothing else, just to have fun with the caterpillars in the fall. She's got some interesting grasses out here. There's some Mullenbergia. There's some leadwort up here used as a ground cover. This is a good shade or part shade ground cover. Blue flowers on it, and it's still flowering here in late August. And you can tell, this isn't going to take over the world. It is a ground cover, and it would require some control at some point, but it's not one that's in a hurry to take over the world, so it'd be easily controllable. I don't know if I've ever pointed this plant out on the 4.5 years of this channel. She's got some lavender up here, and I think in this raised space, the lavender is doing much better than it does in other areas in Raleigh. I actually have always had an issue in this clay-based soil with lavender, but this one's doing great. She's got some asters up here that will open later in the fall. So things with things throughout the season coming and going in this landscape. There's some agastache here on the other side of the sidewalk. This is about finished at this point, but it still has a few flowers, and as long as it still has a few flowers, it'll still have a few bees. It's got the same zoysia lawn that I have in the front yard, which is just a few blocks from here. This is a nice green, almost self-maintaining turf. Got a large crepe myrtle growing over the top of it, and it's gotten to the age where the bark has become beautiful. It's a light pink variety. I don't know. I'd be guessing if I was guessing I don't know the variety, but beautiful bark. And it's got plenty of space, and it's got plenty of bed space. I mean, so frequently I see crepe myrtles just placed in the lawn, and this one, given enough space, just to me looks much better. You can see back this direction, there's a big laurel right there. Sky pencil holly sticking up here on the corner behind these I think these are compacta hollies. And then there's a hydrangea paniculata of some kind back there in the background. So some interesting things throughout this landscape. Oh, it's an exciting morning. It's such an exciting morning. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Oop. Okay. Okay, sweetie. Okay. Okay. Too much excitement.
All the excitement is here.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Always ask me if something's poisonous, do I have to worry about it? And then I go, well, my dog really doesn't eat that much. And then I turn around while I'm filming, and she's right behind me eating something. What are you doing? Oh, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. So I think we settled on a spot here on the south side of the foundation, which would normally be super sunny, but there's a lot of things going on in the neighbor's yard over here, and so it's a part shade condition, perfect for this Distilleum and the Podocarpus. The Distilleum will stay low, compact here, and they've left room around it so she can plant some other low-growing things, and the Podocarpus will just become kind of a column there. This is Amy and her dog Lily, and they have graciously allowed us into their yard with my weird knock on the door this morning. How long have you guys been in this house?
So we've been here about 7 years.
About 7 years. Okay. How much has it changed in your 7 years here?
It's been a dramatic change. We've added a lot of special plants, and we also wanted to make it fun for the dog.
Right.
So
you guys
have some grass.
Right, and you guys have one of the biggest. I mean, this is a large lot for this neighborhood, really. I mean, it's kind of nice that you got that kind of space, especially for Lily.
That's right. And we've been able to put in some really interesting. We have some shade. We have sun.
Right.
We kind of have it all.
Did you guys have a lot of the noxious weeds that are kind of normal for this neighborhood?
Oh yeah.
When you move in?
Yeah.
Okay, so ivy or vinca
ivy and wisteria and the Japanese honeysuckle or something like that. Anyway.
Oh, the winter honeysuckle?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. It's just
lots of vines and.
Yeah, we're in an old neighborhood. In these old established neighborhoods, I think a lot of times people moved in, they thought ivy was going to be a good call on a bank or something like that, and they were no longer able to maintain it. And so as these houses turn over, they're kind of overrun by a lot of noxious weeds, honestly. Okay, so let's get these things in the ground. Try to teach people to get these trenching shovels instead of full-size shovels. Yeah, it's yeah, it was about 3 or 4 inches longer than that. Yeah, I've had that one a long time. Overall, this wasn't bad digging in this space. It is clay soils, but they have amended it quite a bit since they've been here, and so I was mixing that organic material in as it went. I only found one brick. I found a snake in the first one. If you want to go back and watch that video, just a brick here, so nothing alive. I've had these Distilleum so long they were quite root bound, and so you saw at the beginning of the video I had to cut the roots off the bottom of the pots, and then I just had to do a little bit of surgery on the roots on the bottom. So When that happens, I like to take a little bit of the new growth off the top of the plant, and that's just to compensate for the root damage I did. I mean, we're dealing with, we've got 75% of the roots left and 100% of the top, and so you can see where that math isn't the best. You don't have to take a lot off, and so we'll just take this opportunity to even up branches that are sticking out from the plant and that kind of thing. Just lower the amount of work that the roots that are remaining have to do. And so that's basically it. So all Amy's gonna have to do with Lily's help out here is water these occasionally. This clay is probably gonna stay pretty moist in between waterings. I don't think they're gonna have to be watered all that much. They need to be watered well today to settle them in, but I think, you know, going forward, it won't require a whole lot of water over here. The podocarpus and the Distilleum are super drought tolerant. So once they're rooted in, these aren't plants that are gonna need any kind of ongoing maintenance. You can prune, you can shear crazy limbs off of them whenever you want to, no real pruning requirement on them. The Distilleum does flower. It's in the wisteria, or it's in the witch hazel family. And so it gets a little red frilly flowers like witch hazel and loropetalum, but they're tiny. And so they're not really grown for the flowers, just for this blue-green foliage. They're gonna become a mass here, these three, and then again, that podocarpus is gonna take off north. And I think that's it. Hardy in zone 7 to 9. The Roman candle podocarpus is hardy in 7B to 10. So thank you very much for being a great host.
Oh gosh,
and
thank you.
Yeah, and I think this has turned out really, really nicely. I didn't know. I knew the 4 plants would go together, but I didn't know. They fit in there perfectly.
I think so too.
Okay,
Very
awesome.
excited to see how they grow.
Awesome. Guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel because I'm going to have some more of these types of videos upcoming. Thanks again.